Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Simon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are someone who wants to learn about data science, computer science engineering and programming, then this channel is for you and then please consider subscribing. In this video, we are specifically going to talk about writing your very first Python program. This video is a series of Python videos where we are going to learn Python from very scratch, and if you have not watched the previous videos, I would suggest to go ahead and watch those videos. In this video, as I said, we're going to talk about writing your very first Python program. We are going to look into a bunch of functionalities and inbuilt functions and how you can take input in a program, process it, and eventually also print it out. So all this in this video and coming up. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. And in this lesson, that is the very first Python program, we are going to look at what are comments in Python, what is print function, how to use input and length function, and couple of miscellaneous inbuilt functions like string, int, and float. So even before we go ahead and start looking at the code, let's see what we are actually going to build. So we have a program that says hello world, and the second line is what is your name. So if I go ahead and write my name as Simon, the program will say it is a good name. It is good to meet you, Simon. That is my name. And then it will say the length of your name is 5, which means the number of characters in my name. And then it is going to ask me what is my age. Now, for instance, I go and write my age is 51. All right. So it's going to say you will be 52 in 1 year. So there are a couple of things happening here. It is taking my name, it is printing my name, it is telling me the length of my name. Then again, it is taking my age, and then it is also telling how much I will be in 1 year. So I think this is a very good program to go ahead and get started to understand how to work with Python files. But in the previous session, in the previous video, what we did is we actually used Python IDLE, which is Interactive Development and Learning Environment, right? The problem with working with here is that once you write the code, it is okay to write your Python codes if you want to execute one line at a time. But if you want to execute an entire file, what we are going to do now is we'll go to file, click on new file. Right now we have this Python file with us. Now how you will find the difference between Python shell and the Python file? In the Python shell you will see these four arrow marks, three arrow marks, whereas if you're working on a Python file you will just find a blank cursor blinking over here, and that is how you know that this you're now working on a Python file. So let me just go ahead and open it. And even before I go get started, I'll click on File and then Save As. And maybe I'll move to the directory. Now I already have this first program file with me that I'm going to show you. But let me just name it to first program mm, 1. Okay. And you see the save as type is Python file. So when you save your Python files, the type of those files is be Python. So you just go ahead and save it, and that's it. Now even before I go ahead and get started, I already have this Python code with me so that we don't spend much time on writing the code. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on how actually thing is happening. We'll go line by line and try to understand what is actually happening over here. So first line says this is a program, say hello and ask for your name. So if in any of the Python program you see a hash in front of it, it means this is a comment. So what is a comment? So comment are the statements that are ignored by Python. Developers would usually use comments to actually write some of the lines that they want to understand. For example, there are certain lines of code and they would just write it as a you can say a bookmark, right? Say if there's a function they want to say, hey, this function does a particular functionality. So what they would do is they would write a hash, they will use the hash, and they will just write it over there. Just remember, comments are actually used by the developers to actually understand the code better, and comments never get executed in Python programs or in any programming language. It may be C, C++, Java, C sharp, or whatever, right? Python comments never get executed, and they're just meant to add more understanding to the developers. So the first line that we have here is the comment, that is this one. So this line will never get executed. Moving on to the next line that we have is this print function. Now, so how do you recognize a function, that there's a function in a particular line? Whenever you find a parenthesis, right? Whenever there's a parenthesis, it means it is a function. Now I have a print word which is followed by parentheses, right? Or you can say people call it common brackets. So in any programming language, if there's a word followed by a parenthesis, it means it is a function. Now what in this print function, we are passing a string that says hello world. So when this programs get executed, what this print function will do is that it will go ahead and print hello world in our screen, just the way we saw it, right? Now, moving on to the presentation, let me go ahead and read it. The print function displays the string value inside its parentheses on the screen. As I said, whatever you pass inside this print function, it is going to display in the screen. And as from the previous video, this is a string, right? Now, even this second line is same. It says print what is your name. So here I have asked the user to say what is your name. Now see, I again have one comment that says ask for their name. Now this will not get executed. This is just for the developers or for you to understand that this line is saying to ask the user to write his or her name. So once user writes it right, we need to store that value. I mean, when I wrote Simon over there, I need to make sure that I have it in my program so that I can actually go ahead and find the number of characters in that word, or even may ahead and go and print it. The way we do it, we use an input function. This one. Now, what does an input function do? Okay, perfect. The input function waits for the user to type some text on the keyboard and press enter. Now, whenever you use this input function, this function will wait that the user goes ahead and types something, and the moment you press enter, it will take that value. Now, when a user goes ahead and type his or her name after this line gets executed, just the way I wrote Simon, what it will do is this input function will be called when I press Simon plus enter, and that value, that is Simon, will be stored in a variable that is my name. And we did study what are variables. If you have not seen that video, link are in the description. You can go ahead and see what are variables we have discussed in detail. So whatever I type here after this, this input function takes that value and store it in a variable that is my name. Now once I have it, my name stored in a variable, what I can do is I'll again call a print function, pass a simple string, right? That is, it is good to meet you. And then if I want to go ahead and add a variable inside a print statement, I'll simply use this addition function, or you can say this addition uh, symbol, and write the variable name. Now see, when I take the name I have stored in the my name variable, and I'm going to put that over here. So when this line runs, it is going to say, it is good to meet you, space Simon. I think I still have it over here running. Yeah, see, it is good to meet you, space Simon. So that is how I have printed the variable value over here. Now the next thing is to actually get the length of the name, right? So we write again print, very simple, the length of your name is, then colon. We have not done any mathematical calculations over here. But in the next line, what we have done is we have said print, then we have used again one function that is length, right? Len. You can see why did I say it is a function? Because it is the len word is again followed by parenthesis, which means it is a function. So what does the length function actually does? The length function will evaluate to the integer value of the number of characters given to the string. It means anything that you pass inside this length function, right, it is going to actually give you the number of characters that word has, and it is going to be an integer value. So we pass my name, which actually has the name that we pass through the Python shell, and it is going to print it then. So if I come back to the file that we executed it, okay, this one, you see the length of your name is 5, which is 1 2 3 4 5. So we got this value using the length function. Now this got printed. The next is print what is your age. Again simple, we have called the print function and passed the string values. Now just the way we did it over here, we are taking the value added by the guest using an input function, and this time we have stored it in a variable that is called my age. All right, so here things gets a little complicated. We're now going to look at some of the inbuilt function that is string, integer and float. Now always remember, whenever we use this input function, right, it will always give you the value as a string. Now no matter if I go ahead and type my name as 51, now you know this 51 is an integer value, but when this input function stores it, right, it stores as a string value. So what I want is, if I want to add one more to it, I mean if I add 51, I want to make it 52, or if I want to make it 53, 54, adding different values, I can never add a number to a string values. I mean just imagine, can I add Stephen plus 1? That doesn't make sense, right? If the value of Stephen is 51, I'll have to convert it into an integer value. So here when the input function runs, my age stores the value as 51, but it stores as a string value. So what we need to do, we first need to convert that value, right? So again, it's a print function. It says you will be in the quotation marks plus, as we do to write the variable values. Here now something interesting happening. Don't look at this, first look at the inner part, right? What I'm doing is I'm taking my variable that is my age and passing into an inbuilt function that is int. Now what this function does, it would convert the string value of this my age variable into an integer value, right? As I said, input function would give you as a string output. This int function is going to do, that it is going to change the my age value into an integer value, and once it's done, it is going to add 1 to it. Now since I gave 51 over here, it is going to add one more to it, right? I added 51, it is going to add one more to it. That will make it 52. Now we have converted the my age string variable into an integer, right? And then we have also added 1 to it. But remember, the print function always takes string input, right? I mean, you just cannot pass integer inside a print function. You will have to convert it into a string. So once we have taken this my age variable, we have converted it into an integer, we have added one value to it, we will again convert it back into the string using the string function. So the execution starts from integer, right? We add one value, then we again convert it into a string so that this print function can go ahead and print it. And the output that you see is you will be 52 in a year. All right. So what I'm going to do now is, how do you actually run this program, right? Okay, let me close this one. Now you have actually saved this program, and I think we have gone through every single step, right? Now once this program is saved, how do you want to run it? You want to go to run on the top taskbar and click on run module. Okay, so when I say run module, again we are going to look at the execution. It says hello world. Okay, maybe what I want to do is I want to put it this side and this may be this side. Okay, perfect. Okay, so hello world. Now you see this program says hello and ask for name. This never got executed. You can see it's not there in your screen. Your first line print hello world, it is executed hello world. Then print what's your name, it's executed what's your name, but ask for their name is not executed because that is followed by a hash, and hash is for comments. Now I go ahead and type my name is this time Stephen, and then I'm going to press enter. When I press enter, this line gets executed. It says it is good to meet you, then my name. Then what is that? Stephen. Here we have stored the value Stephen in the variable my name. And the next line is the length of your name is the length of your the length of your name is, right? And how do I get the length? From this statement. print length my name, right? The my name has Stephen. It is passed inside the length function. It is going to return you the number of characters, and then I get as 7. Then the next line gets executed. What is your age? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna this time write maybe I'm 16. Ooh, what's my age? Okay, so and then I'm gonna press enter. It will say you will be 17 in a year. So this line gets executed, and towards the end we convert it into integer. We add one value to it, then we again convert it back to a string, and then we print it. That is as simple as that is your first program. So I would go ahead that we did only integer here, but there are a few more functions like float. We didn't cover the float part over here, but I would suggest you to go ahead and do a little research on how to convert maybe an integer value into float, or maybe a string value into float, right? So that's all in this screencast. Alright, so that's all we have in this video. In the upcoming video, we're gonna talk about different more type of data types and operators. So that's going to be a little interesting one. And if you have not subscribed our channel till now, do consider subscribing, as this channel is all meant for data science and anything that you want to learn probably, and that's why you're here. Alright, so my name is Stephen Simon once again. I'll catch you in the next video.